wonderful it is to live in Alva now. I keep telling you, shh, be quiet. Be very quiet.
Does anyone want to put up the banner? Do you want it, Mom? Do you want to help me put up the banner?
Sure. Well, let's go inside first and kind of get situated, and then if you guys want to come out and put up the banner, more than welcome to. There's string and there's tape inside the camera bag. Hey, how are you doing? Hi. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, kind of see if you can find some table space here. Go ahead and set the flyers here.
Okay. You probably have your name here for you.
Okay.
And you're filming for?
I have.
That's really like a very interesting
What's them?
And you got one of mine already. You're all set.
Yeah, I got one of yours too.
The general.
Good to see you.
Hey man, how you doing, bud?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Can't complain. Can't complain. Still here.
Sunshine now.
Go ahead and see if you can find some table space and set this up. That's a good point.
Yeah, just be happy with that.
Some of you gentlemen standing in the back would mind, please close the doors. I have been requested to tell you that bathrooms, if you need a bathroom, you can go at any time. Go through the doors and go to your right, and the bathrooms are just down the hall, as is water fountains. We have bottled water for the candidates. We ask you to turn off your cell phones, please. And we would like to remind you that this evening's event is being sponsored by Alva, Inc. If you're not a member, we invite you to join us, because these are the kinds of things that we do. You can pick up the membership form and fill it out and pay your dues right at the table in the lobby. Our dues is $25 a year for our family. And once again, we work very hard to do wonderful things for our community. I'd like to call the meeting to order at this time and invite you to stand with me and recite the pledge of allegiance. Tonight is candidate night. We're gratified and overwhelmed by the number of candidates who accepted our invitation to come talk to the people in our community and the neighboring communities in this area. Thank you, candidates, for giving us your evening. Thank you, friends and neighbors, for coming out tonight to participate in the democratic process of selecting a candidate who will be our elected official. The candidates' time to speak tonight is limited, so they won't be able to tell you everything they would like you to know, and you won't be able to ask all the questions that you would like to ask. So, Alva Inc. wrote a list of questions that are relevant to the issues that are facing Alva. We submitted them to the candidates, and they have written answers to the questions and given them back to us. We are posting the questions and answers on our website for you to read. Our website is www.alvafl.org. Once again, it's easy to remember, www.alvafl.org. And if you forget, call me. I'm on the phone. In addition, the candidates have brought their campaign literature and they have distributed it in the lobby. Most of them have websites, so I invite you to also check out their websites and see what else they have to tell you. At this time, I'm going to turn the program over to our moderator for the evening. He is a member of our board of directors, Mr. Bill Redfern. Bill?
Okay, candidates, our simple ground rules are these. Each candidate by office will be given exactly 2 minutes for their comments. Candidates, our timekeeper, Andy Erickson, Andy, if you would stand, will alert you by a raised hand when you have 30 seconds remaining of your 2 minutes, and he will also verbally alert you when your 2 minutes are up. And we do have to rigidly adhere to that, obviously, in the interest of time to get you all fit in. Following the comments by all of our candidates, I will have one question on behalf of Alva Inc. for our county commission candidates only. Each of them will have 1 minute for that question to answer the question. Then the general audience will be invited to ask questions and have time to speak to any particular candidate that they wish. Finally, at the conclusion, there will be time for our visitors to again intermingle, as you have already, and privately meet with the candidates of their choice for more in-depth questions. Time, again, is a critical factor tonight, and we ask all to rigidly adhere to our time schedule. We are going to start with our federal offices, United States House of Representatives, 14th Congressional District. Candidates, if you will come up to the right and in alpha order, and you'll have your 2 minutes. Our candidates are Jeff George, Connie Mack, Robert Neild, and Bert Saunders. Go right ahead.
Good evening, Alva. My name is Jeff George, and as you just said, I'm running for District 14, U.S. House. It's really great to be out here in Alva and to come to one of these events and see more citizens here than politicos. It's really cool that I get to kick this off tonight, because one of the things that you're going to find by the end of the night, if you don't realize this already, is most politicians tend to sound the same whenever they come up here. You're going to find that every incumbent is going to come up here and he's going to say that if we keep doing things the way that we're doing, things are going to get better. And you're going to find that every challenger is going to come up here and he's going to say it's time for a change, and I'm the guy that's going to change things. And I would love to say that as well. In fact, I am going to say that. But the difference is I'm going to give you the means to actually make sure that you can hold me accountable to making those changes happen. What we're doing with our campaign is a little bit different. What we're doing with our campaign is we're trying to use the internet, the new media, and video in a way that's never been used before. We're recording everything that I do and everything that I say on the campaign trail, and we're making all of that footage available to you to either watch it when it's live and it's happening, if possible, or to watch it afterwards. And the purpose for this is not to bore you to death with watching hundreds and hundreds of hours of me standing around talking to people, but to make sure that you can hold me accountable, that everything that I do and say on the campaign trail, you know what's going on. It's also to make sure that we have complete transparency and to get you, the people, involved. There are so many important issues that are facing this district right now. There are so many issues with the economy, but nothing is going to change unless we change the system. And in order to do that, we've got to find a new way of representing ourselves in Congress. And that's what I'm here to do. And I hope that you'll vote for me this November. I want to thank you again very much for having me. And I look forward to seeing you next year as your representative and in Washington. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Robert Neal. I'm always pleased to have the right side podium because I'm the Democrat in the race, and that puts me on your left. So, I'd like to tell you that I was born in Ybor City, and my parents moved my family to Lee County in 1956. I graduated Riverdale High School, attended Edison College, University of South Florida. I've operated my own accounting practice since 1979, prepared income tax return and do record keeping for small business. Friends, I am very, very concerned about our country. We have $9 trillion worth of debt, and I'm concerned that this country is about to collapse on the weight of its own debt. You see every day in the paper about the subprime mortgage crisis, the bank failures, new banks that are taken over by the FDIC, things that are not going well. We have a war in Iraq that is consuming vital resources from our economy, resources that could otherwise be used for education, for health care, and for things that we need for our people here at home. I want to go to Washington and get into a block of like-minded congressmen and senators supported by a president in the White House who will change the things that are happening and turn them around so that prosperity comes back to the United States of America. We have shipped our prosperity overseas to the detriment of our citizens here in the United States. We have to stop doing that. Now, I know that some of you just can't put your finger on the button for a Democrat. So, and this is very important, and I hope that you'll listen closely, because if you just can't put your finger on the button for a Democrat, do me one kind favor. Gentlemen, vote for Congressman Mack. Ladies, vote for Senator Saunders. My name is Robert Neal, and candidate for the United States House of Representatives.
Good evening. My name is Bert Saunders, and I'm running for Congress District 14. And if you can't vote for that Democrat, vote for Bert Saunders. I wanted to get up here, and the first thing I wanted to say is, where's Connie? I think everybody knows the answer to that question. I've had the honor of representing Southwest Florida in public office for over 22 years. I'm finishing up 10 years in the Florida Senate. I'm here to ask you for your support and your vote on November 4th for Congress. Now, I'm running because I'm concerned about where this country is heading. I'm not concerned about my future, but I'm concerned for the future of our kids. I look over here and see Frank Mann's grandson, I assume. And, you know, I'm concerned about where things are heading for them. I am running against the status quo. I am tired of the gridlock in Congress, and I'm confident that everybody in this room is tired of the gridlock in Congress. I want to ask you a couple quick questions. Are you concerned about the high cost of energy? Do you wonder why we have no national energy policy? Are you satisfied with the way Congress has failed to address issues such as immigration reform, health care reform, the worsening economy, and the foreclosure crisis that is crippling many of our families? It is almost comical that Congress knows who is using steroids in baseball, but we have no national energy policy. I think I just used up 2/3 of my time there. If you're unhappy with the status quo in Washington, D.C., then I ask you to join with me. I made the decision to run when I learned that Congressman Connie Mack no longer lives in Southwest Florida. He lives in Southern California. But I made the decision after I started looking at his voting record. I don't have time to go over that now, but I'll tell you, please go to my webpage at bertsaunders.com and take a look at my issue papers, take a look at the different issues that I've addressed. I can guarantee you one thing. I will have an open door for you, I will listen to you, and I will work on these issues like immigration reform and health care reform. Thank you very much for your support.
Our candidates for State Representative District 72 are as follows: Judy J.J. Giuliano, Paige Kriegel, and Keith Richter. I believe Mr. Kriegel is not here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for attending tonight. This is very important to everyone and the candidates as well. I am Judy Giuliano, your Democratic candidate for State Representative District 72, which includes portions of Lehigh on up to North Fort Myers, all of DeSoto County, and portions of Charlotte County. I am a proud first-generation Italian-American whose family came legally into Ellis Island. I've lived in Charlotte County since 1985. I work in the healthcare profession as a registered nurse since 1983. I have cared for, listened to, and stood up for people my entire career, and that is the type of representative I will be in your behalf. My community involvements are very long. We're very limited here, so I'll fast forward over that. But most people don't realize that it's been 10 years since voters in Alva actually had a choice in the general election. It has been 10 years since a Democrat ran for this office, and it's about time to elect one again. It is time to hold our politicians accountable for the votes they cast and the actions that they do. Change seems to be the buzzword in 08, and that holds true for Florida as well. We can make inroads this year towards a more fair and equal representation for all the people, and that in itself is change. I believe it is time for solutions on how we can bring down healthcare costs, homeowners insurance rates, solutions for higher wages and a diverse economy. Unfortunately, Florida has turned into a low-wage, high-cost state, making it difficult for people to stay here, move here, or retire. It's time for solutions on how we can bring money into the state instead of one type of solution of cutting and slashing of public education and state agencies that help the least among us of all ages. Thank you. Thank you. I'll ask you for your vote November 4th, J.J. Giuliano.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First thing I'd like to say thank you to Alva Inc. I was on the LACPC, Lehigh's version of Alva Inc., and I'm very, very glad that you guys did this forum. Secondly, I've been to a lot of these forums here recently, and this is the largest turnout that I've seen. I'm running because my opponent is not here. Period. He hasn't been here for the last 6 years. He hasn't come around and really seen what we do in Lee County. That's why I'm running. I'm Lee County's candidate for District 72. I'm a public educator. The last time I was on this stage, I was a 6th grader, and I was the lead in Alva Middle School's play in 1981. So it's a little bit strange to be standing here today. Mr. Middlebrooks was my college teacher. I am also totally locally educated. Lee Elementary School, Alva Middle School, Riverdale High School, Edison Community College, University of South Florida, Tampa, Fort Myers campus. So I know Lee County. I've taught in rural areas, and the main reason I'm up here, like I said, is I will be here for the people in these areas. I will be at Alva Inc. meetings, I will be at county commission meetings, I will be at school board meetings. The only way a state representative can do their job is to come out and tell you what's going on in Tallahassee, and then take those answers and implement them into how you vote. I will be here for you, and I will come to your things. I don't want to take any more time. We have a lot of candidates to get to. I hope to have your vote on August 26th. I'm Keith Richter for District 72. Thank you very much.
Our candidates for State Senator District 27 are as follows: Dave Ehrenberg, Matt Caldwell, Ed Heaney, and Aniana Rojas.
Well, good evening. I'm Dave Ehrenberg. I'm your state senator, and I'm honored to be here. It wasn't that long ago. I was a wide-eyed 31-year-old. Now I'm a grizzled veteran. Now I'm the old man in this race, and I appreciate it. I think having competition is a good thing, because although this is a change election, not all incumbents are created equal. I have made a living out of shaking up the status quo, because Tallahassee needs some shaking up. I've been the only Democrat to co-sponsor the spending caps on local governments and the property tax rate rollback. I've been fighting the ongoing effort to stop the proliferation of soft money that corrupts our campaigns. I've been the guy to try to fight the write-in loophole, which disenfranchises thousands of voters in our state. I was successful in promoting a ban on gifts from lobbyists, but our efforts continue to try to clean up Tallahassee. My next big issue is Alligator Alley. As you see, there is efforts to sell off our state's infrastructure. It's unacceptable. I'm not going to tolerate $12 tolls in Alligator Alley. But as we know, standing up to the special interests, stirring things up, has a price. The price is, you've seen some negative TV commercials out there about me, lies about my record. Who do you think pays for those ads? Grassroots supporters through bake sales? Not quite. They're special interests. The Tallahassee special interests don't like people who stir it up and shake it up. But I'll continue to do so. 6 years ago when I won my first election, I had my victory party right here at Mugs and Jugs. I hope this time it'll be at the Alva Country Diner. I'm Dave Ehrenberg. I'm honored to be your state senator.
Thank you all for having me here this morning. My name is Matt Caldwell. I live here in Lehigh Acres, right around the corner with my wife Yvonne, and newborn daughter Ava. She'll actually be 8 weeks old on Wednesday. I'm a 7th generation Floridian. I've grown up in this community. I love this community, love this region, love this state. And I hope that through this action, I can make sure that the Florida that my daughter grows up and knows is as successful and as fantastic a place to live as I knew as a child growing up here in Lee County. And I'm a product of our local schools. Graduated from FGCU in 2004 with a history degree. Got the opportunity to start an appraisal division at one of our local firms. And that was a great experience for me. Building a budget, figuring out what things are that you really need versus what you want, dealing with employees, and not only that, but building this business in one of the worst real estate downturns in the history of our country. And that really gave me the confidence to attack one of the biggest issues we've had here in Lee County, which is the budgets. You know, the local Republican Party dug into the Lee County budget and took the commissioners to task for funneling away money and hoarding $1.5 billion right now that sits in the vaults downtown instead of sitting in yours in my pockets. You know, like many of you, I grew up fishing these local waters, out at Sanibel, out at the Causeway, here in the river, out at Lake Trafford with my grandfather. And we all know that the water quality today is half of what it was 20 years ago. That the fishing is not what it was 20 years ago. And that's why I've worked very hard with the local water management district to implement the projects that are going to make that a priority and clean up our water and fix our quality of life. Quickly here, I'm a local guy. If you don't know me already, you're going to see me at the gas station, at the grocery store. Heck, come knock on my door if you want. Because I guarantee if you don't, I'm going to knock on your door in the next couple of weeks. Thank you very much.
We have 3 county commission races this year. Our candidates for District 1 are as follows: A.J. Boyd, Gerard David Jr., Eric Weichfeller, Bob James, and Carla Johnston.
Hello, my name is A.J. Boyd. A little bit background on me. I only got 2 minutes, so it's going to have to be short and sweet. But I live in Cape Coral for the last 23 years. Raised my wife, family, my wife Brenda, my family, Jessica and A.J. III. 2 grandchildren currently, believe that or not. And I spent 9 years on city council, 3 of which was as mayor pro tem. The reason I got involved was because at the time they were implementing busing, and it almost broke my marriage up. My wife and I had moved from Boston, and we came here to start a new life and raise our children the way we wanted to raise them. And then they were going to take my child and us in many, many miles away when he could barely see the first step of the bus. So I figured I better do something. I went to my local council member and I said, "Is there something you can do?" And he said, "No." So I said, "Well, if there's nothing you can do, then I'm going to have to do something." I got elected by a good amount and have been involved since, very much involved, and I'll touch base on some of the things, very much involved with the youth center in Cape Coral, the PAL program, the police department. When I had gotten involved, back then Chief Gibbs was in office, we had some issues with juvenile crime, we had some serious issues with gang starting. This was long before you've all read about it. And I said, we need to do something. So I got involved in a volunteer organization, the YCIC, and also the PAL program. We put together a $1.2 million youth center. 2 minutes is definitely not a lot of time. So please do me a favor. I'm going to hang around until the last person leaves. I'd really like to sit and talk to you about some of the things I've done in the past and what I can do in the future as far as similar things of the rate, reducing the millage rate like I have over the last 9 years from 6.82 to 4.82. I made that promise back 9 years ago. I'll do it again. As a county commissioner, District 1, I'm promising you right now, maintaining or lowering the millage rate every year that you allow me to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, I'd like to thank Alva for inviting me. My name is Gerard David Jr. I'm running for Lee County Commissioner of District Number 1 as well. Some of you may remember that I ran in 2006 as the no-party candidate against current Commissioner Brian Bigelow, and some were always wondering why I switched and flip-flop. Well, my new slogan is whatever it takes, because I'm the only candidate. I'm the only candidate that isn't in office or has been in office. Most of my opponents are in office. All 4 of them really are, except for AJ, who was. So basically, I'm a man of vision, and I believe that we need to shake things up, change the status quo. The current commissioner is great at bringing industry here, but in my opinion, we've been sitting on a gold mine for the last 100 years with Edison, Ford, and Firestone. I mean, if Disney can do it with a mouse, I believe we can do it with 3 geniuses that create electricity and rubber and tires. So I want to bring in the film and television industry because Florida and Nevada are the only 2 states in our union that are right-to-work states, and I'm a proud SAG member for the last 25 years, as well as an AFTRA member, which stands for American Radio Television Artists, and usually anchors and weathermen and soap operas. or shot on video. Anything shot on video is accurate. Make it simple. But anyway, I want to bring in this, the film industry because we need another direction other than tourism and baseball and our beautiful beaches, of course. And basically, the film industry, like they say, there's no business like show business. And Disney's proof of that. We came here in 1970, and last year they posted $900 billion in revenue. That's a private company. So I would like to own it through Lee County and share those profits like they do in Alaska with the oil. Every resident of Alaska gets $1,600, and we would do that as well in the industry. My time is up. I hope you vote for me, Gerard David Jr. I already voted, so I hope you already voted because I just got mine off today. 888 was a lucky number according to the Chinese. Thank you.
I'm not Eric. I'm here tonight representing Eric. He has a council meeting in Cape Coral. My name is Chris Berardi. Just a brief bio. Eric is a 20-year resident of Lee County and a graduate of Mariner High School. He's also a graduate of the University of Miami, where he graduated with honors in economics. He went on to study law at Georgetown University, where he had the opportunity to clerk for Connie Mack III. He also found time to tutor inner-city children while he was not attending classes or working in the library at school. After graduation from Georgetown, he went on to achieve his final degree, a Master of Laws, from New York University while working full-time at the Deloitte & Touche. Never forgetting where he came from and the community that was so supportive, Eric returned to Lee County to practice law. In 2005, at the age of 33, Eric was elected mayor of the third largest city in Florida, Cape Coral. As mayor, he has restored professionalism to a council that frequently is criticized for being chaotic. He understands the importance of engaging the public and conducting bi-monthly town hall meetings. More importantly, he has restored fiscal responsibility and common sense to government. Eric believes in the philosophy of lower taxes and less spending. Eric also strongly supported putting the issue of single-member districts on the ballot so that you, the voter, could make the decision rather than politicians. Eric is a Rotarian and a staunch supporter of local programs for our youth. He is a longtime member of Christ Lutheran Church and has been married to his wife Mary for 7 years. They have 3 children. Eric has never allowed special interests to influence the decisions that are best for the community, and he looks forward to serving Lee County far into the future. A vote for Eric Feichdahl August 26th is a vote to work together to solve our toughest challenges. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Bob James. I'm a candidate for re-election as County Commissioner for District 1. I'm running for re-election for my 3rd term. I am married. I have 3 daughters. We've lived in Florida since 1976. I'm a former military person. I served 3 years on active duty and over 30 years in the reserves. Business, I've owned businesses. I've owned a restaurant, hotel, real estate school, and I was vice president of SunTrust Bank on Santa Fe. I've had any number of businesses, as I've indicated to you before. I've also had extensive experience at the local level, as well as at the White House in Washington, D.C. Some of the major issues facing us in this election. Number 1, first and foremost, is growth. How do you manage growth? That's the number 1 issue. Everything else revolves around managing growth. I think another issue that we have to look at is transportation. We need to begin developing a regional transportation system, which is much more than simply a light rail system. It involves buses, it involves rail, it involves a whole host of things that require a regional approach if it's going to succeed. The third major effort happens to be healthcare. And what are we going to do to help shape and make health available, quality health care available for everybody? 30 seconds. And that's also a very, very important issue. Those are my priorities.